I'm here with the general manager of NWA Wrestling Revolution, James Dante.
Who's the best?
You're the best. Thank you so much for giving me a bit of your time. I wanted to go over some questions with you about pretty much what you guys do here every single Friday night.
The NWA Wrestling Revolution.
Exactly.
The greatest wrestling show in the world.
Pretty much. I guess the first question I gotta ask is, what is the Wrestling Revolution? And how is it associated with NWA?
That's a great question. Well, first off, let's talk about the Wrestling Revolution. The Wrestling Revolution can be summed up in two words, and that's strength and honor. Okay? Because everyone who wrestles with the Wrestling Revolution prides themselves on trying to be the best, trying to rise above everything in wrestling. Because here at the Wrestling Revolution, it was started with myself and three of my closest colleagues. Right? We'll not name who they are because that's secret. But we thought to ourselves, you know, when we were trying to break into the wrestling business was only meant for the huge 300-pound, 6'5" monsters. And we thought to ourselves, well, we're better than that. We fight week in and week out. We give our blood, sweat, and tears. Why can't we be a part of this wonderful thing called wrestling? So we decided to take it upon ourselves and start the Wrestling Revolution and make sure that there was a place for, quote-unquote, the little guy, for the small guy, the guy that may not look the best on TV, the guy that may not be the tallest or the biggest or the strongest, but you know what, damn it, he's got a shot at being in wrestling.
Right.
Thus, Wrestling Revolution. Now, when it comes to NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance is the oldest governing body in wrestling history. Since 1948, I believe, don't quote me, 1948, the National Wrestling Alliance has been governing wrestling and making sure there was one true world heavyweight champion. Now, since we've been in business now going on 6 years, Wrestling Revolution is about to have our 6-year anniversary. Make sure to be here the 22nd, next Friday. Well, I don't know when you're going to see this, but we're having an anniversary show. We're going on 6 years, and the NWA reached out to us because they knew how amazing, how powerful we were doing with our small guys, with our guys that had passion and heart and strength and honor. And they knew that we were doing something special here in McAllen, Texas at Cena Ray. And they invited us in to join the elite group that is the National Wrestling Alliance. So now for 3 years going strong, 3 years we've been a part of the National Wrestling Alliance, and now we are the National Wrestling Alliance Wrestling Revolution.
That's great to hear. And speaking of Cena Ray, you guys have been wrestling here for how many years?
6 years, going on 6.
And what is the historic Cena Ray? What is it? How is it important to you guys?
Well, when it comes to it's crazy because we're part of the oldest wrestling organization since 1948, and we also, by sheer irony, we wrestle in the oldest theater still going in McAllen, Texas. And this theater's been going on since 1935, don't quote me. I think 39 actually. But, you know, so Cena Ray means so much to us because it brings that history, just like the NWA brings that history. And together we bring the amazing audience, and believe me, guys, if you come to our shows, you will be impressed, and we love you for making sure that you come here at the home of National Wrestling Alliance Wrestling Revolution, Cena Ray. You got to be here every Friday night. We give them something special, and they know it, and they give it to us with their passion in the audience, and they just keep coming back, and it's just the perfect marriage of the National Wrestling Alliance Wrestling Revolution and the historic Cena Ray coming together. It's just amazing.
And not only have you guys been doing so well, I mean, you've been going on, as you said, for 6 years. You're going to be going on for 6 years.
6 years strong.
Now, last year you had your 5th anniversary show, The Rise of the Phoenix, and now this year, once again, you're going to have it here, the historic Cena Ray. And from what I understand, you actually wrestled in last year's show, right? So you used to wrestle then, right?
I sure did. I think last year we had our, well, at that point, which under the table, we're about to have our Proof of Valor tournament, and I was part of that tournament last year. And I made it to the semifinals, I believe, beating that dastardly Richard Reason, I think. But I didn't make it, and yes, I used to wrestle, but I have a wonderful daughter on the way, so that kind of, sometimes you got to take a step back. And with all the hungry lions and the talent that we have here at the Wrestling Revolution, it seemed like a perfect opportunity for me to step back and just don this little sport coat and be the general manager that I was asked to be. And I'm able to make up some amazing matches. And from last year's 5th anniversary to this year's 6th anniversary, we have such an amazing lineup that I would like to say that I'm an amazing matchmaker, bro. I don't know. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, let's talk about the lineup.
About the lineup.
I mean, last year, I'm sure you guys, every year you have your anniversary show, you're going to try to outdo last year's anniversary
every
show,
year.
right? So this year, are you guys going to try to do the same thing?
This year, man, we have a good almost 30 wrestlers on one night. And we don't do that any other night, maybe except for the Jackpot Rumble. You might want to check that out. And this year's anniversary show, we're jam-packed 5 matches, filled top to bottom with the cream of the crop that we have here in the Wrestling Revolution, even people from out of state. Now, let's talk about one of the first matches.
All right, let's go over one of the first matches, which is a ladder match, a triple threat ladder match for an ammo box, which I understand correctly is like the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, you might want to trademark that. I don't know. I didn't
Except what's so interesting about this is it's not just for one title shot. It could be there are other ammo boxes with other title shots. Yeah. This one's going to be for the tag team title opportunity.
Now, right now as we speak, we have one other ammunition box. Right, we have these ammunition cachet boxes. Right. That usually hold bullets and ammo. But instead of bullets and ammo inside the box, we actually have a contract to where somebody can cash in, use this ammunition to defeat the champion at any time they want. So right now we have 2 ammunition boxes out. We have the South Texas title ammo box, which is held by Jim Justice, and he hasn't cashed in yet. His time's almost up because you only get a year for that. And he's had that ammo box for a while. Now this next ammo box that you're talking about that we're going to award at this year's 6th anniversary show is for the tag team title. So right now we're doing unprecedented, because we're crazy. We have an Ascension ladder match where we're going to have 3 teams that have to fight their way into this ladder match to see who's going to be the first ever, and this will be the first ever, tag team ammunition box holder. And they can cash in that box at any time. And those 3 teams we have, what do we have in those?
Well, I know the first ones to qualify were Autumn and Bandana Joe. The second ones were, I know you don't like them, but the Agents of the Apocalypse.
Furman and Jackal Those Dogs.
Yes, and we also have the Bold and the Beautiful who have qualified.
Just qualified today?
Yes, we do. And to me, I feel that the Agents might have the advantage in this match, considering this is kind of up their alley.
Well, they do have a wild card.
Yes. So, but who do you think might win this? Do you think it might be the Agents or Autumn or Joe, or do you think it might be the ones who might try to take advantage, the Bold and Beautiful?
Well, I mean, if you look at those 3 teams, the Agents of the Apocalypse are pretty much the most decorated tag team that we've had. They've had those tag team belts, I think, on maybe 3-4 different occasions. So they're no strangers to big match fields, So they've been there before. But you cannot count out the Bold and the Beautiful because they were our last tag team champions. When it came to it, they, not so luckily lost their belts to the Original Sin, who didn't win those belts really at the best possible ways to win the match. They're cheaters. Let's just say that. But you can't count out the wild cards, which are Michael Autumn and Bandana Joe. Bandana Joe is a very decorated wrestler, and so is Michael Autumn. So those 2 together is kind of a strong team. So it could honestly be any person's ballgame when it comes to that tag team ammunition box ladder match.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait until next week. But speaking of the tag team titles, we just found out that the titles will be on the line next week.
Made it official.
Original Sin going up against
the Unholy Complex.
Yeah, so you tell us a little bit about this team and who do you think is going to win this one?
The Unholy Complex we here at the Wrestling Revolution, we've had them on one other occasion, and I haven't brought them back because I felt when they wrestled their match, they were a little too rough, they were a little too just dastardly. I just didn't feel comfortable bringing them back because they were so. They just walked their own path. You know, if you're going to call yourself the Unholy Complex, that already tells you that there's something wrong with these two guys, which is Jason Silver and Gregory James. These two guys are crazy wrestlers, but they're also crazy in real life. So when it comes to bringing these guys, I mean, like, I don't really like to, really dabble with the Unholy Complex. But when you have two guys in Jared Noir and Richard Reese, they just won't shut their mouth. They make sure to crap on the fans anytime they're out there. They love to interrupt and just come out to the ring at any time that they want. And they love to claim that they're the greatest tag team champions of all time. They like to say that they're the greatest tag team champions of all time when we have people fighting and begging like Strong Style, trying to rise above and be the best team in the Wrestling Revolution, and they have the tag team championships. Now, yeah, they might have gone to 1, 2, 3, and yeah, they've defended those belts before. So when it comes to the anniversary, I had to, make a phone call and get a couple guys that I know that might do the job and put an end to the Original Sin.
Well, as you said, like, the Original Sin have defended those titles.
Yeah.
And they have lasted this long, but
it's been a while.
You never know. You never know what might happen.
Well, you can never count out what's in that hat Jerry Noir's got. That guy's got some kind of crazy magic hat. He pulls out brass nuts, powder, chloroform. He pulls it. It's all in there.
All right, well, maybe they will still walk out with the titles or we'll lose. Either way, we'll have to wait till next week.
Well, I don't want to be biased, but
well, we got more tag team matches that have been set up. We found out that it will be Strong Style and the Dirty South Outlaws against the Dogs of War. Now, I know you are not a big fan of the Dogs of War, especially how they've been pretty much running over everyone that's gotten in their way.
They sure have, and it's just crazy because Jim Justice was our South Texas champion. He, didn't win that. He ended up winning the Lionheart tournament to win that title. That was with the help last year of the brand new Pain, which is a painted face freak. He's crazy. He can slam you through the ring if he wanted to. That's the first time he introduced Pain, and he wanted that he helped him win the South Texas title. And ever since then, the militia joined up with Pain and Jim Justice, and together they formed the Dogs of War. Now, these four individuals, they've just been running rampant over the Wrestling Revolution. They've been ruining matches. They've been helping guys like Original Sin win matches. They've been just running,
interfering
in every match. And so finally, the crap has hit the fan. And when it comes to one team in particular, which is the Dirty South Outlaws, Con Hawk and Cold Caliber, those two guys, they don't take any crap. They don't take any crap. So the few times that those guys have been, interfering, they're not going to take any crap. And Strong Style, the newly formed Strong Style, which is Tony Strong and Lucas Lala, they're not going to take any crap. So together, they're going to take on the Dogs of War at the anniversary show, and it's going to be one hell of a slobber knocker. Don't quote me.
Well, we have two other title matches also set up. We have the Grand Warrior title, we have the South Texas title, and well, we found out that Danny Ramones won the title. He'll be defending his in a triple threat match, and the Amazing Danny Chance in a Fatal 4-Way match. With everything that's been going on, do you think we might crown some new champions next week?
Well, we just crowned a new champion right now, Danny Ramones, and I'm telling you right now, when it comes to the singles titles and the South Texas title and the Grand Warrior title, it's anybody's ballgame. Because in the Grand Warrior title, you have all Novum Guinness members for the first time going at it in a 4-way Fatal Fury match. Danny Chance, the current champion. Ray Knight's been the longest reigning champion. Eric Shadows has been champion on 3 occasions. Matt Riot's been a champion before. All these guys know what it means to be a champion, and they're going to come at each other with such fury that's I mean, I'm telling you, it may steal the show. Now, when it comes to Danny Ramones, he just won from Mark the Sharpshooter Roberts. He's held that belt. He's been fighting and defending that belt week in and week out for a good 5 months, and he just lost that belt to Danny Ramones, and he deserves a rematch. But Dominic Downstar, he fought Mark the Sharpshooter Roberts a week ago and took him to the limit, to a double time limit draw. So both these guys deserve rematches. Both these guys are going to face the new champion, Danny Ramones, and all this is going to come at you at the anniversary show. I'm telling you, three titles on the line, 4-on-4 tag team match, and a 3-team ammunition ladder match. I'm telling you, there's no better. I mean, the 6th anniversary is just going to be top to bottom main event style, main event worthy matches. If you're not there on the 22nd, I don't know where you're going to be. You got to be there. Every Friday night, Cino Ray, 311 South 17th Street, McAllen, Texas. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're here every Friday night, 8 p.m.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dante, and I hope everyone will be there next week for the show. I'll leave the link for the Facebook page of NWA Wrestling Revolution, and even for the channel on YouTube, so you guys can watch
NWRTX TV.
All of their past matches, all the past shows. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great. Who's the best?